Hey, what's going on guys, Rugged Eagle here today and welcome back to episode 2 of Talk Duels. Today we're going to be going over the Anakin and Obi-Wan vs Count Dooku fight, which obviously has Yoda in it, and this is an amazing fight. So if you are new around here, do feel free to subscribe. I do daily Lego Star Wars content, and if you didn't check out the Phantom Menace one the other day, there will be a link at the end of this video. And without further ado guys, let's just dive straight into episode 2, Attack of the Clones. So guys, after looking at the Duel on Genosis clip actually from the movie, I thought that it should begin off with obviously Anakin and Obi-Wan running in. Now Anakin gets knocked out by lightning at this point by Dooku, so this all should be a part of a cutscene. Now I reckon it should turn into a quick time event, because what happens in the film, Dooku shoots lightning at Obi-Wan. Now what you should have to do is spam the deflect button. So saying like the deflect button on Xbox is X, you have to keep spamming X to deflect the lightning back at Dooku. So this should just be kind of like a fun cutscene to get you engaged with the fight before it actually begins. So this is in line with the film, and what I thought, now this is not in line with the film, but Anakin should wake up so you both get to fight Dooku, because obviously there's two players, you both have to get in with the action. So this is where we lead on to the next part of the fight. So guys, at this point it will be both players fighting Dooku, so both player 1 Obi-Wan and player 2 Anakin. Now I thought for Dooku, obviously they said the new combat system. Now we don't have much knowledge on the new combat system as of far, because we haven't seen any gameplay, but there is going to be heavy attacks and light attacks, and this is a confirmed feature. So what I thought was, now Dooku can have a stamina bar so you know when to strike, same like I mentioned yesterday with Darth Maul, but Dooku's most weakness, and this is from the films and it is proof, Dooku's weakness is really heavy attacks. That's how Anakin Skywalker beats him in episode 3, because he uses his anger and does really heavy attacks. Now I reckon you should have to time your heavy attacks to when his stamina runs out, and that will deal damage to him using your heavy attacks obviously, because obviously Count Dooku's a duelist and he's quite swift, so a heavy attack can break through him. And I reckon also you could be able to use the Force. Now this isn't not accurate to the film, but obviously in the complete saga you do use the Force a little bit, but I thought it's because it's obviously going to be different to the complete saga, you should be able to use the Force to pull down pillars from above, you know, like what Dooku does to Obi-Wan and Anakin. You should be able to pull down pillars just to knock him, and then you'll make him dizzy, and then you can go in with your attack. And that's pretty much all I came up with at this point. Now obviously once you've done fighting him, say like that bit he has 5 hearts, then after that Anakin will get kicked away and we'll move into the next part of the fight. So guys, at this point when Anakin gets kicked away, I thought it'd be a perfect time to put in another quick time event, because in the film it does a close-up between Dooku and Obi-Wan when they are clashing with their lightsaber. So as player 1 who's Obi-Wan, you have to keep spamming X and you will eventually lose this even if you succeed, and then when you lose it obviously Obi-Wan gets knocked out. Now in this next part, obviously it's sharing it between player 1 and 2's experience. Player 2 Anakin will wake up, and then obviously this is when Anakin gets his obviously the other lightsaber, so he kind of dual wields the lightsabers, and this is a perfect time to add another variation for Anakin, so another character of Anakin. So they could just have it episode 2 dual wielded Anakin. That'd be amazing with the green and blue lightsaber. And at this part just do a generic fighting, so or like Count Dooku has 3 hearts, and then once you defeat him it activates the next cutscene. And then in this cutscene obviously they go into like the dark area. So if any of you guys remember this from the film, Anakin cuts the pipe and the lights go off and it goes into this dark kind of area. And I thought again this be another good experience for a quick time event where you obviously have to time it, because it'd be quite dark, so you have to click your buttons like X, A, Y, anything like that in the dark area. And then once that scene is done, obviously Anakin gets defeated and gets his arm chopped off, and then that is pretty much where we are left at. So Anakin and Obi-Wan are defeated at this point, and then this is the next bit when Yoda arrives and the finale of the fight begins. So guys, by this point it should enter the final cutscene where Yoda actually arrives. Now obviously Anakin and Obi-Wan are both knocked out on the floor. So when Yoda arrives, obviously it does the little cutscene where Dooku says he's become more powerful than any Jedi, and what happens is Dooku shoots lightning at Yoda. Now again, another good experience for a quick time event where whoever plays is playing Yoda. Now what they could do is share the experience between both players. So say like you're playing couch co-op or online, both of the players have to spam X as Yoda to deflect the lightning back at Dooku. I think that'd be a bit better because it engages both of you. Now this is not accurate to the film, but this is kind of like how they did it in Complete Saga. Obi-Wan should just wake up and they both should be able to fight Dooku. So both of you get to share the experience, Yoda and Obi-Wan player 1 and 2. And then obviously you fight Dooku as I mentioned earlier. Again with heavy attacks, and Yoda you can probably sneak in with a fast one because Yoda is quite fast how he jumps about. So yeah, you could do that and obviously wait for his stamina to go down, go in with a heavy attack and eventually defeat him. So I don't know, by this point he'll only have a few hearts left, so but I don't think they are going to do hearts in the new game. I think it's just going to be a health bar, to be honest, like many new games are doing these days, because the hearts are a bit outdated but they are kind of nostalgic. So obviously once you defeated Dooku, it should go into the final cutscene where Obi-Wan gets cut up and thrown next to Anakin, so it's in line with the film at this point. And then obviously Dooku snaps the pillar and the pillar falls down on Obi-Wan and Anakin. And again, I know you guys are probably thinking, oh, I know what he's going to say. Yes, another quick time event. So say like whatever players Yoda, you have to keep spamming your trigger button to not let the pillar fall down on him. I reckon that'd be super cool. And then that is pretty much where the fight ends off. And then pretty much that is the ending of Attack of the Clones. So that is pretty much all I came up with for this fight. So the main parts of this fight really are breaking through Dooku's block with heavy attacks, because obviously that's Dooku's weakness, waiting for his stamina to go out because obviously Dooku's a really good duelist, so using the Force to throw objects at him could be really cool as well. I know it's not in line with the film again, but it'd still be good fun because obviously that would be one of Dooku's weaknesses. So that is pretty much all I came up with for this fight, and I definitely do want to see the dual-bladed Anakin with the green and the blue, and they could do one for episode 3 as well. We'll talk about that when we get into that. So I hope you guys did go to enjoy episode 2, and yeah, hope you enjoyed it. So guys, just before you go, if you did go to enjoy this episode, please do drop a like so I know you guys are enjoying this new series, Talk Duels, and there is going to be a link to episode 1 if you guys didn't see that yesterday. And for episode 3, I kind of want to take in some of you guys' ideas, because episode 3, I think there's quite a lot of duels. So obviously you got the first one, Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Dooku, you've got Grievous and Obi-Wan, and then you've got the Senate and Yoda, you've even got maybe the Chancellor Palpatine one with Mace Windu, and there's just so many, and obviously the main one, the Battle on Mustafar. So I'm probably going to have to break that one up into 2 parts. So if you guys have any ideas for that one, please let me know. So the first part will be obviously Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Dooku, and obviously I think Grievous and Obi-Wan. So that'd be part 1 for episode 3. So if you have any ideas, please let me know in the comments. And I hope you guys did go to enjoy this video. Make sure you do subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss any notifications from me. And yeah guys, make sure you go check out episode 1, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.